Hi, hello, how are you? This is Brad with I've Always Said That, and we are at Survivor 49. That is just insane, like absolutely insane. 49 seasons of Survivor is incredible, and yet here we are all still watching. And I am no less excited than I would be for any other season. We are ready. Yes, we are all looking forward to Survivor 50 next season, which is going to be our first returning season since Winners at War, Survivor 40. But for now, we've got Survivor 49, and I am so excited. A big thing about Survivor 49 is two players were already cast on and have filmed Survivor 50. They haven't revealed to us who they are, so it'll be interesting to see who it turns out to be. But anyway, let's get into it, shall we? Survivor 49, the classic marooning. Now, for these past few seasons, I haven't really enjoyed the marooning. They just show up to the beach. It is an iconic part of Survivor, but now they're just like showing up to a beach and they're all just standing on the beach with Jeff. And I'm like, where's Jeff and his helicopter? 39 days. This is Survivor. Like, I want that era of Survivor. Like, mix in the new era with a bit of that, and then we'd have some gold. You know what I mean? Anyway, so they all get onto the beach, and wow, the yellow team, they've got some energy. They are pumping their fists, they are screaming, they are ready to go. And the whole cast just strikes me as like a bit of a bunch of nerds, like in the best way possible. Like, they're all super fans, they're all here to play, and they're just so excited to be here. And I do love that. That's really fun. But now they just got to bring it. They got to bring it in the game department, you know? So Jeff is talking to a couple of them, and he talks to Jason on the Yellow Tribe. And Jason actually reveals that he was an alternate for the season. Like, he wasn't going to be on. He didn't know he was going to be on until half an hour to midnight the night before. And I'm like, that's crazy. And I was also online that MC on the same tribe was the female alternate, and she's on. So you never know. It could happen at any time. So they go around talking to a couple people. You kind of get the lay of the land of who's who. And Jess gives out the tribe names. Yellow tribe is Hina. Blue tribe is Kele. And the red tribe is Uli. And they're going to get straight into their first reward challenge for supplies. Camp supplies. Which is only a pot, a machete, and a flint. No food. Nothing else. You got to fend for yourselves. And I do like that. We've just come off watching Australia versus the World, and they get rice, and I feel like every challenge is a reward challenge where they get food. And I'm like, they don't eat well, but they be eating. So, whereas this crew, they're not going to eat nothing. The poor things. I just want to do the challenges, and then, no, would I do Survivor? I would, but I don't think I would physically last. I think I would just perish. I would simply perish. So the opening challenge for their supplies is they got to break off into pairs. The first two pairs got to run into the jungle to get some big cube wooden puzzle pieces. Then another two got to swim out into the ocean and pull a boat back in with the rest of the puzzle pieces. The last two got to assemble the puzzle pieces into a big cube. And then someone's got to get the big stick and jump off it and hit the bell. Okay, fun. Fairly Survivor classic sort of opening challenge. I would definitely want to be swimming. I'm not the best runner. I feel like I could swim and pull it back. I do not want to be on the puzzle. I don't want to be on the puzzle in any tribe scenario. If we're in tribes, I don't want to be on the puzzle. I don't want that responsibility. Not good. So they do the challenge. A couple people are struggling a bit here and there. Hina pulls it out of the bag. They just have this energy about them, and it's just like pushing them further and further, and they get it, and I absolutely love it so much. Like, good for them. So because the other two tribes obviously didn't get their supplies, they have to pick one person each to go for another chance to get their supplies. They usually do this in the last couple seasons where they've got to do some sort of challenge in order to get their tribal supplies, and then one tribe just won't get anything. So the Kele tribe end up choosing Alex, and then the Uli tribe ends up choosing Rizzo. And Rizzo's like, I'll go, but if it's a puzzle, we're cooked. Like, I love the honesty. Like, same. I would be the same. So they go off on their boats, and Alex and Rizzo get there, and the challenge is they have to go out and find, in this field of coconuts, 10 coconuts that each have their tribe colors on them, and they have to bring them back one at a time. Then they have to open those coconuts, which have puzzle pieces in them, put the puzzle together, which has an X on a map on where they have to go back out into the field of coconuts to dig up like a big boat ship wheel to then go place on a post and raise up their flag. And I'm like, oh my freaking God, that's convoluted to say the least. But basically, they go and Rizzo is puffed. And again, I can relate, my dude. I can relate. Alex is in the lead from the start, clear lead, and he gets it all together, gets his puzzle sorted, and he starts digging for his big ship wheel thing. Meanwhile, Rizzo is like stuck on this puzzle, and I'm like, dude, you really are bad at puzzles. Like, terrible at puzzles. But he just goes over to Alex's table, and he's going piece for piece, taking like where his puzzle should go on his. And I'm like, Alex comes back to look to make sure he's like digging in the right place because he can't find the bloody wheel. And he's like trying to cover up his puzzle so Rizzo can't see it. But he leaves again to go dig, and he doesn't destroy the puzzle, like his own puzzle. Like, you know where it is, you can just take it apart. So Rizzo's like, okay, I'm just going to keep copying then. And he does, and he copies it, and he finally realizes that, one, he hasn't opened one of his coconuts, so he's missing pieces. So he finally puts it all together, and he goes, digs up his wheel, and he gets it almost immediately. Like, he has to dig, like, pretty deep, and it's like a big-ass wheel that he has to get up. But he gets it, and he puts it on the post and raises his flag, and I'm like, shit, what a comeback. And I don't understand what Alex was doing wrong. I'm like, was he just digging really shallow? Like, what was going on there? But needless to say, Rizzo won, and he gets the camp supplies, and he is a hero. Naturally. So we're just going to go through each tribe and talk a little bit about like what was going down, what their relations were, how everyone kind of perceived each other. So we'll start with the Hina tribe. They won the first challenge, obviously, so they're in high spirits. They get into building their shelter and everything. Everyone's kind of getting to know each other. Matt, the older gentleman, feels a little bit, you know, on the outside. Like he hasn't got the qualities to relate to these younger crew. And I get it, fair enough. But he's very, like, survivalist. He knows how to do shit. He knows how to start the fire. He gets this fire started immediately. Like, Steven's trying to start the fire, and he looks up at Matt, and he's like, Matt, I can see that you know how to do this. Can you please just do this? And he gets it started in, like, 2 seconds. I'm like, okay, sweet. So Steven and Matt form this, like, connection, and I'm like, okay. Steven seems to, I think he got the most screen time out of the Hina tribe, close with, like, Jason, I would say. He seemed to be doing a lot of talking, going around to people, building connections very quickly. I love Christina. Christina is a hoot. She is so funny. Really love her. Hopefully she sticks around a while because I just love her personality. It's very infectious. But otherwise, not a lot going on that tribe before the challenge. The Kelly tribe, now, they've obviously not got any camp supplies, so they're feeling a bit down in the dumps sort of vibes. Everyone's talking to everyone. Alex and Jake for this, like, bromance, and I'm like, are they dumb? That's so gay. No. Like, that's so brave to be so outwardly open that you've already formed such a tight connection with someone in, like, a day. That's just instantly painting a target on your back. Like, that's crazy. Sophie immediately realizes that she should align herself with the stronger two, and Jeremiah has, like, a bit of the same idea sort of thing. So those four, like, kind of become a core four. Alex actually approaches Annie, who's, like, the older lady of the group. I don't want to say older lady, but she is. She's, like, more aged than the others, I would say. And he says that he wants to form a connection with her and, like, form, like, a tight little alliance with her. And I think that's a really smart move, to have a number outside of the main four, just to make sure someone's got your back. So he's got himself and Annie, and then he's also got himself and Jake as two tight pairs. And then he's also in the four with Jake, Jeremiah, and Sophie. And I'm like, this man's got it. He knows what's up. And also, I want to give props to Sophie for going around and making connections with everyone. She's talking a lot, but not so outwardly that she's like making it obvious. I think she's got a real strategic mind on her shoulders. So I've got my eye on Sophie. I think she could pull something out of the bag. And then we have the Uli tribe. Obviously, they're elated that Rizzo came back with the supplies. And I'm like, hell yeah. We've got a lot of screen time from Shannon. She's very spiritual, leading the group in like a sort of spiritual, like, let's thank you to the ocean. Thank you for us being here. But she says, like, yes, I'm all this spiritual person, but I will cut someone if I need to. And I'm like, oh, okay, sure. Sage seems like a bit of a nervous mess. And I'm like, I kind of love that energy though. That's kind of great. Savannah, Shannon, and Joanne kind of form this like trio, and they're feeling really good together. They're like talking, saying that they could like, you know, make a move if they needed to. And then they're also thinking, who can be our fourth? So they're like, who should we pick up the fourth of Sage, Nate, and Rizzo? So they're just talking about that. But as time goes on, you know, they're living and everything. Joanne's trying to make the fire, and he's kind of losing it a little bit. He's like, I've made fire for so long preparing for this moment at home, and now I can't do it. And he's kind of just like losing it. And Savannah is sitting there like, if you're losing it and get this easily agitated and like lose your cool after just not being able to start a fire, how am I going to work with you? And I'm like, Savannah, I see you. I see what you're doing here. You're smart. You're smart. Anyway, she's talking to Nate. Also, Nate, sorry, side note, he said he was like a PA on the Sam Raimi Spider-Man films. No, he's like a producer for like Marvel movies. He's like up there. He's got money. But Savannah and Nate form this kind of connection, and I think they could be a really good duo. They give me really good vibes. So it's more of Savannah and Nate than Joanne. I think Savannah's put herself in a really strong position in this tribe. So she could go in a multitude of different directions. So it's going to be exciting to see what goes off there. Anyway, they go to the immunity challenge, and it is the same immunity challenge that the Survivor 36-hour influencer challenge group did that was out recently. So they've got their 3 tribes. They have to go through like the rope course, down through the mud, run out to the jungle, and bring back this massive ass heavy snake back through, put it on its little cradle, and then do the snake maneuver the ball across the snake course thing. Capiche? Capiche. So they start all kind of level playing field. They've got Hina's got a lead, Uli's got a lead. No, sorry, Kelly's got a lead. But then Jeremiah and Nicole lose the lead for Kelly. And it's like, oh, that's causing some shit. Like, people aren't happy about that. But also, the highlight of the challenge, I will say, as the last duo are running out to get the last snake, Jeremiah is like, how did you get the mud out of your eyes? And without hesitation, Nicole spits water onto his face. And I'm like, oh! What are you doing? That's crazy behavior. And she's like, oh, the first time for everything. And I'm like, anyway, Hina and Kelly get back to the snake course first. So they're trying to maneuver the ball across the snake body to get to the end. No, sorry, I keep getting the bloody tribe names mixed up. Sorry, Hina and Uli get back first. Kelly finally catches up. Nicole is in like the caller position in the middle, and Annie's on the end. And there's like some tension between them as they're trying to do it. Nicole's like, pull it tighter, pull like your rope tighter, because it's holding the ring that's got the ball in it as it's sliding across the puzzle. And Annie's like, it's as taut as it can go. And she's like, well, pull it. And I'm like, oh, people are getting frustrated. Oops. Hina finishes, and they are the first tribe to win immunity. I'm telling you, it's that positive energy that's getting them through, truly. And then it's a race between Uli and Kelly to win. And ultimately, Kelly drops the ball, literally, and Uli wins immunity, leaving Kelly to go to the first tribal council. Devastating. I kind of had a feeling this was going to happen. I felt we got more screen time from Kelly before the challenge than any other tribe. So they were just setting some things up. So I was like, I'm not ultimately surprised. So obviously the first tribal council, nobody wants to go home. I in this situation, I'd be shitting a brick. I would be like, want to make sure I'm with a core group of people. I don't want to make too many waves. I will go with the majority, honestly, as long as it's not me, the first round especially. They kind of pull the let's get the weakest link out of the challenge. So they're tossing up the core four, Alex, Jake, Jeremiah, and Sophie are tossing up between Annie and Nicole. Saying Annie's a bit older, Nicole's athletic ability, like, let's see. They ultimately decide on Nicole. And Alex is like, sweet, I've still got Annie in my corner. This is going to be fine. Annie then goes and talks to Sophie about possibly teaming up with her. And then, so she's got an extra person. And then her, Jeremiah, and Sophie can take out Alex or Jake the next time they have to go to tribal. And then ideally they should be set to merge. And I'm like, she's smart. And even Sophie said, like, I didn't realize she was playing. But I'm like, that is a really great idea. But I don't know. She obviously had a bad read of where Sophie and her relationship was at. I don't think she did enough social bonding with Sophie beforehand to actually have merit to have this conversation for it to be successful. Because Sophie ultimately goes back and tells her alliance. And Alex is like, oh shit, you're kidding. Maybe I can't trust Annie. Maybe she's not going to be good for me. So now they're tossing up between whether they vote out Annie or Nicole. Obviously they're telling Annie Nicole and Nicole Annie. So they're just like, whatever. Nicole's going around talking to everyone, trying to suss it out. What is she, a money laundering investigator? So she's like, I can pick up on a lie, and anyone that tells me a slightly different story, I'm playing my shot in the dark. And I'm like, you know what? Fair enough. That's what it's there for. If that's what you feel, use it. It'll make it somewhat entertaining. They go to tribal and they're talking, and Jeremiah, I don't know why he says this. I feel like this, if I was Nicole, this would have set me off when Jeremiah's like, yes, we were deciding between the two weakest links. So Jeff was like, oh, so you've got it down to two people. And Jeremiah was like, yes. If I'm Nicole, that's immediately got warning sirens going off in my head. Like, are you kidding? And she turns to Alex and she's like, I'm good, yeah. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, nah. I'm playing my shot in the dark. I don't care if I'm paranoid. Like, that shot in the dark is getting played. Hands down. They go to vote. It is unanimous. Nicole does not play her shot in the dark and she gets voted out 5-1. Nicole is the first person to get voted out of Survivor 49. I feel bad. Like, it would suck to get voted out first. I feel like she got a good attitude about it. Like, in her exit interview, she's like, I'm going to be the butt of every family joke now. And I'm like, yeah, yes, you are. Ultimately, a pretty standard first episode. Obviously, there's not a lot going on for people to make big moves yet. They're just they've voted on the tribal strength path. We'll see. A couple interesting alliances forming, a couple personalities out there. I like Rizzo, he's funny. You know, Christina, she's a laugh. So I'm excited to hopefully see these other tribes move a bit more. Once the journeys start, once advantages start getting involved, I know it's going to get messed up in the best way possible. So let me know who you're championing for in Survivor 49. What did you think of this episode? Let us know in the comments below. Remember to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at I've Always Said That pod. Like, comment, subscribe, and follow. It really helps us out here at the channel. This has been I've Always Said That with your host Brad for Survivor 49. Thank you. You're welcome. Love you. Bye.